Welcome once again to my channel, which is English Topics with Neeti. It's been a long time since I have uploaded a new video on the demand and request of few children. I would like to go with intermediate state syllabus, first year and second year syllabus, and we will do it bilingually, that is both English and Telugu, so that children may understand easily. And now we are going to do intermediate first year English syllabus, and the name of the book is Interactive English, and the name of the first lesson is My Mother, written by APJ Abdul Kalam. Children, we all know that Abdul Kalam was the former president of India, and he became the president in the year 2002. He is also known as Missile Man of India, and he was also awarded the Bharat Ratna, and he is also called as Vishwaguru. Abdul Kalam was born in Rameshwaram in the year 1931, 15th October, and he worked in DRDO, which is Defense Research and Development Organization. He's been awarded the Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award in India, and he is also called a Missile Man of India, and is also known as Vishwaguru. So please do remember all these points while writing the annotations, that is the annotation, right? This lesson, My Mother, is written by APJ Abdul Kalam, and in this lesson he gives a description of his mother. I'll read the lesson, try to explain it. Many years ago, I wrote a poem called My Mother, which began with these lines. So here I, in the sense, Miss Abdul Kalam ji, and he says that he wrote a poem many years ago which is called My Mother, and these are a few lines. Sea waves, golden sand, pilgrim's faith, Rameshwaram Mosque street, all merge into one. My mother. So he is giving a description of his mother here in these lines. My growing up years, which I now remember with such nostalgia. Nostalgia is remembering the past happy days, recollecting the past happy days, are suffused with the memory of Rameshwaram. So he is recollecting his days in Rameshwaram, a place which is in Chennai nowadays, and the two people who were the center of my world then, my father and mother. So he is trying to recollect the old days when he was a boy, and his world centered around only two people, that is his mother and father. Ours was a middle class family. My father had his own small business besides being the Imam of the mosque. So he is telling about the occupation of his father. His father was a Imam as well as a businessman. Imam is the person who says the prayers in the mosque, and mosque is the place of worship of Muslims. My mother, Ashiamma, came from a family, one of whom had sometime in the past been given the title of Bahadur by the British. So his mother, she came from a family who was awarded the title Bahadur, right? Bahadur. His mother's name was Ashiamma, his father's name was Jainul Abdin, and his father was a businessman and also an imam, and his mother, she was a housewife, homemaker. My mother was gentle, down-to-earth, pious woman. Gentle, he gives here the qualities of his mother: gentle, down-to-earth and pious. Pious is a woman who is holy. She was a devout Muslim like my father, and when I think of her, I cannot but remember her saying namaz 5 times a day, bending and praying. So she used to say the namaz 5 times a day. She used to say the namaz 5 times a day, and she was a very devout woman. Devout woman, a woman who is very devoted, right? She was holy, pious. The look on her face, one of the extreme devotion and peacefulness. So whenever a person looks at her face, she is very calm and peaceful. Whereas some people are very aggressive, right? She had a large family to look after. That was where most of her energy went. Our family consisted of my siblings. Siblings are brothers and sisters and I, as well as our relatives like my grandparents, uncles, all of whom lived in the same house. So by these lines we come to know that Abdul Kalam's family was a joint family. It was a joint family, and the grandparents, uncles, aunts and brothers, cousins and everybody lived with them. Providing for everyone was always a stretch on the resources, stretching on the resources. Whatever they had, the vegetables or the groceries, whatever they had to stretch them, because the people they are living in the house were too many. That is why they had to extend whatever resources they had. It was not a time of plenty for anyone, least of all for us. So when so many people are living, people are always busy, right? We had a good steady income from my father's business, his coconut groves and ferry business. I told you in the very first paragraph, they had given that Abdul Kalam's father was a businessman. What kind of business did he have? His business was coconut business and ferry business. But that just covered our expenses. So only enough of money was earned with the help of this business. And there was never any question about indulging in luxury. So they could not afford a luxurious life. In these circumstances, my mother remained the ideal partner for my father. She saved and understood frugality. Frugality is spending only enough of money, not wasting money. Frugal is not wasting money, spending only for our necessities. So, Abdul Kalam's mother was an ideal wife for her father. She never argued with him. She never questioned him. She was always supportive. And almost daily, not only were many members of the family fed and looked after satisfactorily, but also we usually had umpteen people drop by who would be asked to stay back and eat with us. So not only the family members were satisfactorily eating there, but also many people, many relatives used to come to their home, have their meal and go away. Now that I think about it, I feel that she cooked and served for as many, if not more guests as there were members of the household. So as many members are there in the family, not only that, many guests also were entertained in their home. They had their lunch or dinner at home and they went away. Yet this was accepted as normal and no one really remarked on it or thought much about it. Such was the Indian concept of hospitality once upon a time. So, children, we Indians are known for our hospitality. Hospitality doesn't have anything to do with hospital. Hospitality is being friendly, treating others kindly. This is hospitality. So, Ashiamma, the mother of Abdul Kalam, was a very hospitable woman. She looked after others in a very friendly manner. Whenever a guest comes, she used to look after them very well. Mine was a happy, secure childhood. One of my earliest memories is of eating with my mother sitting on the kitchen floor. So, Abdul Kalam used to sit on the floor and have his meal. We ate of banana leaves, rice, aromatic sambar, homemade pickles, coconut chutney were the staple food. So, all these were the staple food. Staple food in the sense a food which is used very commonly. So what did they eat? They ate rice, aromatic sambar. Aroma is a nice smell. Nice smelling sambar, homemade pickles and coconut chutney. Her cooking was deceptively simple. Her cooking was deceptively simple. Chala, it was very simple. Until today, I have not eaten the sambar that balances the tart and the spicy taste as delicately as hers did. Abdul Kalam is recollecting how delicious his mother's sambar was. Tart is the sweet and the sour taste, which we find in usually in South Indian sambars. So he says that this taste, the sweet taste, the sour taste, and even the spicy taste in the sambar could not be balanced like that of his mother's. His mother's sambar was very delicious. It is again in connection with food that another anecdote from my childhood comes to me. So he says that he recollects one anecdote. Anecdote is a short story. Anecdote is a short story from his childhood. During the World War II, food was being rationed and there was a general shortage of nearly everything. Children, we know that the World War II began in the year 1939 and it ended in the year 1945. And during that time, that is the Second World War, people had a scarcity of everything, scarcity, lack of everything, shortage of everything. My mother and grandmother did their best to tide over those days, stretching the supplies as much as they could, cutting out any wastage. So whatever they had, they were stretching that. They did not waste anything. Whatever food supplies they had, they didn't waste it, often reducing the portions on their plate so that the children had enough to eat. So they did not waste anything, and they saw that the children had enough of food to eat. One day, my mother had made chapatis instead of rice. I sat at my plate on the floor and ate with relish as she rolled out one fresh chapati after another. So one day, Abdul Kalam is recollecting that he was eating chapatis and his mother was making chapati and he was eating one after the other. They kept coming and I kept eating. I told you, I here in the sense Abdul Kalam. He kept eating, the mother kept giving him and he was eating. I was hungry little boy after all. When I had finally had my fill, I picked up my banana leaf plate, walked away to wash up. So after eating, he took away his banana leaf on which the chapatis were served and he went away. Later that night, my elder brother took me aside and scolded me for the first time. How could you be so blind, Abdul? He started. At first, I had no idea why I was being pulled up. Pulled up in the sense being scolded. Why I was being scolded, Abdul Kalam, he did not know. I stared uncomprehendingly. Uncomprehending. Comprehend is to understand. Uncomprehend is not understand. Then he softened and explained. Did you not notice that there was enough for all of us to eat 2-3 chapatis each? Amma will never say no to you. But because you kept eating, she kept serving you. Tonight she will go hungry because now there is nothing left for her to eat. So, Abdul Kalam's elder brother, he came and scolded him saying, you kept on eating. Now because mother doesn't have any chapatis, she will have to go hungry. Because she doesn't have anything to eat. That is the reason why Abdul Kalam's brother scolded him. Right? Children, this is all for today and remaining we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we will continue the remaining lesson.